Hello everyone, myself is Anthony Das. I am working as an assistant professor in that ADS department, Artificial Intelligence and Data Science department in St. Martin Engineering College. I would like to extend a warm welcome greetings to everyone for this section. So today we are going to talk about the structure of a database management and that data independence. So before we are dive into that main content, we want to know that what are the basic concepts and then definitions. So first of all, here the basic definitions are data, information and metadata. Here, what is meant by data? So, data is nothing but it is a collection of raw facts. So, raw facts means here collection of information. Here, we are having a lot of data from several resources and all. We can easily get that data from everywhere. So, but that data are not organized in manner. So, what do you want to do means we want to make that organized manner to contain that to create a useful information. So, that is called as a data here. Next one is information. So, after that getting that data, so we want to process that data, sir. So after processing the data only we will get that information, sir. So to reveal it's that meaning of that original data, we want to process the data to get that information, sir. So next one is here. So this is that a diagrammatic view, how that the information is processed. First, we want to collect all the data, sir. We can easily get the data from several areas, several resources also we can get it. Here, after getting these kind of data, we want to process the data and then after processing the data, we will get that information, sir. So this is called as an information. Next one is what is meant by metadata. So metadata means nothing but here the data about that other data. So that is called as an metadata. Suppose I am having a pen here. Okay. So in case I want to elaborate that, I want to know that information. So what I want to do means inside the pen, what are all the things available means refill, cover and then that back cover. So many things are there. So that is called as an metadata. So metadata is nothing but data about the data is called as an metadata. So next one is DBMS. So DBMS means first of all we want to know that what is meant by database and then database management systems. Here database is nothing but here collection of organized data, that is called as a database here. So what we want to go do here means we want to collect all the data in an organized manner and then we going to store the data in a particular place, that is called as a database. Next one is here database management systems. Database management system means in the name itself we will get that meaning we are going to manage the data. Okay, so how we are going to manage the data means by using a software here. What software we want to, nowadays they are using a different kind of database management system softwares. So for example, MySQL, Oracle database management systems and then Mobango. So these kind of database management systems we are using at present now. So it is that interface between that user and the database. So in between that database, it plays a vital role here. What we'll do means first it will get that information from that user and then that processing will be happen and then the data will be taken from that database here. So this is the database management systems here. So how we are going to manage the data in that efficient manner. Okay, that is a database management systems. So I am giving a simple example here. This is in the form of diagrammatic view. So first of all, so data I already discussed about that. What is meant by database here? So database is nothing but it is a collection of data that should be in organized manner and I am going to store the data in that particular place. Okay. Next one, in between that we are having that a user here. So in that a user what they will do means they will want to get that data means, so this DBMS, the database management systems, will be that interference and it will, what will do means it will manage the data here by inserting a data and then deleting the data, updating the data. So these kind of manipulations will be done by the database management system. Not only these manipulations, the DBMS also provide us a data integrity. That means the data should be in a honest manner. Okay, so not in a honest manner, it is in like in a secured manner, and even that database also provide a good security for all that databases here. So next one I'm going to talk about that here, that levels of abstractions. So why I am discussing these things means before that we jump into that main content, we know that basic definitions, and then that basic concept we need to know that. Now we are very clear about that what is meant by data. Okay, so data is nothing but it is a collection of information from several places, several resources. Okay, so next one is that information. After getting the data, we are processing that information. That information is called as an here processing the data. That processing the data is called as an information. So next one is here metadata. Metadata means nothing but data about the data is called as a metadata. So previously I told what is meant by databases and why we are using that database management systems here. So next one is level of abstractions. Okay, level of abstractions. In this level of abstractions, we are going to see the three levels of abstraction. First one is we are going to see about the physical level. So these are the three levels of abstraction. First one, physical level, logical level, and user level. So here in this physical level means it is describes we can also call this and it is on a bottom level. And next one is a logical level. This logical level is also called as a middle level here. Next one is user level. So this user level would be in top level. So we splitted this level of abstraction in three formats here, three separate things are here. Okay, so here so in the diagrammatic view, I am just showing what is meant by physical level, logical level, and then user level. So in that physical level, we want to say how the data is organized here, how the data is stored here. So in this physical level only, we are going to store the data. Okay. So next one is logical level. So at present, so in physical level, what we are going to do means we are going to show how are all the data is going to store, how. Okay. In that logical level, we want to tell what are all the data we are going to store. Next one is view level. So it is a topmost level. This level contains only that a user can able to see that. Okay. Here I am going to show that a diagrammatic here. These levels have some schemas here. One is a physical schema, next one is logical schema, and third one is a view level here. Okay, in that physical schema, what we are going to do means we are going to store the data by using some disk storage here. Next one is about that here logical schema. In case, for example, I want to know that a student's details here. For that a name, I am giving a student here. Next one is in that attributes, what are the things it becomes inside that student means student's ID, student name, and then project ID. Okay. So next one, this is the logical schema here. Next one, what we are going to see means that user level. So here, this user level, that user can able to view only some certain things here. Okay, like a front end page. While we are talking about that any project or any software, what we want to do means first of all two ends will be there. One is a front end and next one is a back end. So this user level, what they will do means only they can be able to view that front end. Okay, so they don't know what's going on in the back end here. Okay, this is the user level. So next one, this is the level of abstractions. Now I hope you clear about the level of abstractions. In that level of abstraction, we are having three levels here. One is a physical level, next logical level, and user level. In that physical level, we are going to see how the data is going to stored in that physical level. Next one is here that logical level. Here logical level means what are all the data I am going to store in that logical level. Next one is a view level. In that view level, I am going to talk about how that viewers can view that from that end user. Okay, so these are all the level of abstractions. Next one is data independence. Before we are going to see that data independence, we want to know that three structure schema here. Okay, so what is meant by three structure schema? For example, I am giving this as a diagrammatic view. In this tree structure schema, first of all, we have that we want to know that what is mean by schema here. Okay, schema is nothing but it is an overall design structure of the database. Okay, so overall design structure of the data means, first of all, for example, I'm going to build any house. First, what I want to do means I want to build some structure that is in a blueprint. After that blueprint only, I can able to build a house properly. Without having any blueprints, I cannot able to build the house proper manner, correct? So same like here, what I want to do here means I want to make one structure here. How I am going to make this structure means by using of this kind of schemas here. Okay, so first one is we are having three schemas here. One is internal schema, next one is a conceptual schema, and third one is a external level. Okay, so in that internal level, we are having that internal schema here. Okay, I will discuss what that inside that internal schema will be there. Okay, next one, that is a conceptual level. In that conceptual level, we are going to talk about that conceptual schema, same as an external level. In that external level, it is based upon fully on user level. Okay, so these three levels is look like a level of abstractions, are correct? Same here. This external level is the topmost level, and that user applications can be in that top level. Okay, applications programs will be in that top level. So what will happen means that user can able to see that front end of that particular page. Okay, so suppose I'm having a banking applications, any banking applications, or else I'm having any online booking or an online shopping. First, what we will do, first we will particularly open that site. Whenever we are opening that site, that front page will become, okay, that is called as a front level. We don't know what that user don't know what's going on behind that front level. Okay, that is a back end here. So first of all, when the user enter into that front page itself, what they will do means they will enter some data here, correct? So in that data, next one, that conceptual schema, it is also called as a logical schema. Okay, so in that conceptual schema, how that describes that structure of the database, how the structure would be like that. Okay, so here we are going to describe the structure of that database here. Next one is internal level. So in that internal level, here what we are going to do means we want to tell that how the data is going to store. It's look like in a storage here. Okay, so now I'm going to talk that data independence here. Okay, so previously we talked about that what is that a level of abstraction, and then structure of that three schema structure. So schema is nothing but that structure of that database is called as a schema here. So here in this three levels, so we are having an internal level, and then a conceptual level, and external level we are having so all this level combined, and then we are having that physical data organization, that is called as a database now here. Okay, so here previously I told the database means we can store the data in an organized manner. So that database is used for managing the data in a very efficient manner, and for security purpose we are using that database management systems here. Now I hope everyone clear about that. Let's go dive into that data independence. Okay. So here data independence means, first of all, we want to know that why we are using that data independence here. Okay, in case if I am doing any changes in the particular schema, any schema, what will happen means we cannot able to tell that exact data will be represented in that another schema. Okay, some modifications should be happen here, correct? So to overcome the issue, what we want to do means we are going to implement the data impedance in that particular schemas here. So in that data impedance, as I told, in case I am doing any modification, any changes in this particular internal schema, that should not affect that another schema here. Okay, higher schema, higher level schema. So here the definition data impedance is a property of database management system by which we can change the database schema at one level of the database system without changing the database schema at the next higher level. As I told, in case I want to do modifications in that logical schema, so that should not affect that higher level of that conceptual schema. Understand here? So here see that this internal schema, okay, this internal schema, for example, I am doing any modifications, I am going to add an attribute, or I am going to make an anything I am going to give here. The internal schema is totally depends upon that storage here. Okay, whenever I am storing the data in any particular file path, Okay, suppose in case I want to save any photos or videos in that particular system. Okay, I am having a laptop. Now what I am going to do means I am going to save the video or any images in C drive, D drive or any drives. Means what I want to do means I want to save the data. Same like in database also, we want to store the data in that particular file path, correct? Particular file path or any location we want to store it. In case if I am storing that particular path data in that particular file path, what will happen here? Suppose in case I am having any data modification in that conceptual schema, suddenly it will modify the data, correct? So another best example, we are running that Java program. So okay, so what will happen means whenever we are running that Java program, first we want to set that Java path variables. Why? Because means we can run at any specified path. So we can even in the programs are saved in any drives, we can able to run it directly, correct? So that is the same concept here. Okay, so here this schema having two levels. Okay, that now I hope you everyone understand about that independence. Okay, so what is meant by data independence? Data independence means if any changes happen in that any particular schema without affecting that another schema is called as an data independence. So next one, these are types of data independence. Okay, so first one is a logical data independence. Next one is a physical data independence. Okay, so here logical data independence. What is mean by logical data independence? As I told about that three level of abstractions. What are the level we saw? That means first one is a physical level, and then a logical level. Next one is a viewer level, correct? So here the logical database means logical data independence means what they will do means first I'm going to do any modifications or any changes in the particular schema, that means a logical schema. Here what will happen means that conceptual level should not affect that schema. Okay, understand? So changing the logical schema, okay, without changing that external schema. I already told that logical schema is also called as a conceptual schema. Okay, in that conceptual schema, what we will do means we will describe the structure of the database. Okay, so that is called as an here conceptual schema, concept. Okay, next one is external schema here. In that external schema, what we want to do means that is a user level here. Okay, user level means that user only can able to view that particular some certain pages here. Okay, some certain data they can able to view it. They cannot able to see that other in depth of the data. Here next one is that logical schema. So that external schema separate from that logical schema. Okay, how that logical schema will be there means so here see the diagram. Here this is the conceptual schema, correct? So here that user schema is here. It plays in between that conceptual schema and then logical schema. Understand? It will place in between. Why means if I am doing any modification in that conceptual schema, what I said means what are all the changes. Okay, some changes means even some case any changes of entity or attribute or any data items I want to change it means it should not affect that user level. Understand? So it should not affect that user level. For this purpose we are using that logical data independence. Understand? So logical independent and logical data independence means by using of a logical schema, by making any changes in the logical schema, so without affecting the user schema. Okay, now you cleared about it, what is meant by logical schema. Next one is physical schema here. Okay, so physical schema is also like a logical schema. What we are going to do means we are going to do some changes without affecting that before level. Okay, so here this physical schema is here internal schema. In between it places an internal schema and then conceptual schema here would be there. Okay, so next one here what will happen means in case any changes happen here means that should not affect that conceptual schema. So that is called as an here physical schema. Okay, physical data independence. So I hope you clear about that. Next one is overall structure of a database management systems. Okay, by using that overall database management systems, we want to know that defining the information and then storing the information, manipulating the information. Manipulating is nothing but we are going to do some operations like an insertion, deletion, updation, like that we are going to do that. That is called as a manipulation of the information. Next one is protecting the information. I already told DBMS is specially made for that data integrity and security, and then administration privileges. So many things are available in the database management systems. So next one is differentiating the access permission from the different users. So as I said, so in case I want to restrict some usage restrictions for a particular user means I can able to make that restrictions. Now the structure of a database management systems. Now we are having a three structures. One is a query processor, next one is a storage manager, and then next one is a disk storage. So this is the diagram. You can see that these are the three types of levels here. Okay, these are all the three components. Each components having some specific part here. Okay, specific task. So first one is we are going to see about a query processor. Okay, so sorry, first one is user view. Okay, so in that user view, what that users will do means they will do some in that user perspective from there will be a non-technical and then a technical persons will be there. First one is a native user. That native user means they are that just a user. They don't have aware about that technical terms. So they will accept, they will interact with that some user applications, and then they try to get some data from that database. Next one is application programmers. Those application programs have some technical knowledge. They will write some queries, and then they will make some data here. They will ask to that particular query processor to give that data. Next one is sophisticated users. So these are very technical persons. They are also called as an analyst here. They will make use of some queries, and then they will ask some. They will make some management here about the data. Next one is database administrator. So those are very important persons. They will need to set that data privileges here. Okay, so who are and all want to access the data, who are and all don't want to access the data, like that they will set up privileges. Next one is a query processor. In that query processor, we are having a DML queries, and then a DDL, and then a DML. These queries are there. So DML queries means nothing but here we are going to give some what is it? We are going to do some manipulation for that particular data in that table. So next one is a DDL. So DDL means that what are the changes I am going to do, that means in that database. So this DDL particularly concentrate on that structure of the database. Here the DML will create the DML means a data manipulation language. That language will fully concentrate on the data in the data items. Next one is a storage manager. So storage manager is used for storing the data here. In that storage manager, buffer manager is there, file manager, authorization, integrity, and transaction manager is there. So buffer manager means temporarily they will keep the data, and file manager is saving the data, and next one authorization, integrity, they will set the privileges. Next to transaction manager, they will check out the transaction and what are the transaction. So next one is a disk storages. In this disk storages, we are having some task here. So next one is so these are all the statements here. I previously talked about that. So what are all the things? Here I am going to show that some video that is created by myself itself by using some artificial intelligence. So I am going to play this video just to check it. It is okay. So database management system. So here we are having a library. In that library we are having a plenty of books here. We cannot able to take any particular, we cannot able to manage it easy and sufficient way. For that purpose we are needing a database management system. Once this is a fully electronically device, so we can able to easily organize that data in that efficient manner. So here think about it, in that nowadays we are having a lot of database management systems. Here we are having a three structure layer. Without a DBMS, how the data will be means it will be very jumble, and then it is very clumsy also. We cannot able to maintain the data. So by using of a database management system, we can able to maintain the data here. So next one is how that front end will be work here. Okay, so this is the front end, so this is the back end. Okay, so back end people will know that aware about that very well aware about that program coding. So how they will want to do any manipulations means they can be able to do that. So here next one is this is the diagrammatic view. Here I am having that some administration privileges and users and everything I am having here. So next one in this video we can talk about that three structures also. So just an example I am giving as a car here. In that car, that whole that car is an external user. So inside that external user, what we will do means we want to see that data in depth means that is an here conceptual layer. Okay, so user layer means overall we can see that a car. Okay, in depth viewer. So in depth means that is a conceptual. So next one is backend. Here backend only we can able to. They are having a very what is that in-depth and then they will write all that programs or codings to access that data in that efficient way. So this now you can understand what is meant by data and then a database and management database management systems through some diagrammatic views and then some videos. Here these videos will clearly explain what is that basic need of data and why we are using that database management systems here. Okay, next one is next one. So here I'm going to talk, I already discussed about that structure of that database management systems. Okay, first one, in that structure, structure of DBMS. Okay, so in that structure what we saw means first one is query processor that will have some basic queries like an DML queries, DDL queries, and then okay. So here next one is storage manager. The third one is disk storage. In this query processor, what we saw means, so we are using some queries like a DML queries, DDL queries, and some administration privileges we can set it. Okay, administration privileges. Next one is in this storage manager. So this DML means data manipulation language. Though this data manipulation language will fully concentrate on the data inside the table only. Okay, it should not even if I do any modification means that won't affect the database here. Okay, so next one is a data definition language here. Data definition language means it will fully focus on the structure of the database. And next one is administration means so these administrations will set the privileges for that particular users what that a user want to access the data. So those are all that administration privileges. Next one is a storage manager. Storage manager means here we can see that a buffer manager, and then next one is a file manager. Next one is so here think about it, buffer manager and file manager. Okay, so in that buffer manager what we will do means that local, that means temporary data can be saved here. So think about it, we know about that caches here. Okay, caches means temporarily we are storing the data, but don't think about it, database is a very big we need a big storage system to store that every data here. So for that particular think about it, how that cache will be help here. Okay, so what the main purpose of cache here? To retrieve the data in that very fast manner. Okay, so I'm going to keep the buffer manager here means that cache will take that data, easily access the data very high speed. For that purpose I'm using that buffer manager. Next one is a file manager here. File manager means normally we are using the phones. What will happen means every files will be we can store in that particular file manager. That should be in organized manner or else it is an unorganized manner. Okay, so that is a file manager. File manager means all the files will be stored in that particular file manager. Okay, so that is a file manager. Next one is a storage, a disk storage. In that disk storage, what well means we are having indices here. Indices here, indices means it is used to retrieval of the data in that efficient manner. So these are all the concepts. Now we are these are all the concepts about that structure of a database management systems. Now I hope you everyone aware about that what is meant by data, database, and database management system, about that level of abstraction and structure of the database management systems. Thank you, owner.